Hey Owlets, everyone, witches. I it's the day after Drunken Divinations, and I know I made a story post while I was still buzzing last night, but uh, I want to accomplish a few things this morning while Anthony is still getting up and getting ready. First of all, I wanted to thank everybody that was a part of the chat last night and Drunken Divinations with Bex and Rowan. Mark and I really appreciate everyone's support. We had a lot of fun, and I think we had the most viewers that we've had ever, so that was really, really awesome. And I want to thank everybody for that, so thank you. The other thing I wanted to accomplish with this video is RavenFlower's 2022 tag for the year. This is her last tag, and I was tagged a while ago, and I recorded a version, but it was a little wordy, and I want to try and redo it and just post it as is. I'm going to try and do minimal editing, so yeah, let's get started with that. Okay, so I'm just gonna read from the list and respond. So this is gonna be very transactional. There might be some personal stuff in here. There's quite a few juicy topics that I am interested in talking about. So this might be a long video. Hopefully not. So number one, it looks like there's 22 questions for 2022. So that's really cool. So the first question, New Year's resolutions, do you believe in them? Yes, I believe in them, and I do think they work. But as with anything, spells included, you have to put in the work. So typically for myself, I try not to set unrealistic expectations. It's just baby steps are the smaller the steps, the bigger the outcome, right? So my New Year's resolution has been to relearn the Spanish that I knew previously and to learn more. So I've been using Duolingo. It's really cool. Hashtag not sponsored. And it's been really fun. So I am learning. Two, why or why not? Again, I think that it's important that we have goals, but I think, again, those goals should be realistic. They should be tangible, or obtainable. It shouldn't be something that is so big that it's going to be something that you don't complete and then you just get discouraged. Uh, a lot of times with diets and stuff, I think, and the whole new year, new me, gonna live healthier, like I totally support that, but, only if it's realistic, right? We don't want to discourage ourselves. Things are hard enough as is. Number three, what are your favorite colors? Black and blue. If you didn't know by the name and the hair. Number four, does your favorite color or colors hold? Excuse me. I was up late last night and I got up really early. Does your favorite color or colors hold magical or emotional meaning to you? Yes. So I am a water sun sign. And I think that might connect to the whole blue thing. Also, I just love the vibes of blue. And black is kind of an all-over representational thing for me. I've always liked black. Just, 5. Do you use substances for divination or meditation, such as flying oils, herbs, or alcohol? Sometimes, yes. So, everybody, you may notice I have a Drunken Divinations t-shirt on right now. And we did Drunken Divinations last night, and if you haven't check that out. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. So basically what we do, if you haven't seen it, which you could go back on my channel and look, it's live every other weekend. And my friend Mark and I go live and we take questions from the chat. And sorry, the cat was playing. I was like, what's she doing? But we take readings from the chat, from the live chat, and people can tip us for us to do shots. And the drunker we get, or the more drunk we get, the more chaotic it is. So, and sometimes the more in depth the readings are. So, do I think that it is okay to use substances? Yes, because sometimes you're not going to reach certain things, or you're not. Let me reword this. I think it's okay to use substances, but I don't think it's wise to continually use them and become reliant on them. So as an example, if I was reading for a close friend or myself, I don't need substances. Like, I'm good, you know? I know the situation, I'm good. But with drunken divinations, the alcohol does help. Simply because, you know, we're reading for sometimes strangers, and it makes it a little easier to connect, and that whole the filter that would kind of like block that would kind of stop the openness, you know, the open read, it goes away. So yes, I do believe in using substances, but I think we should be careful, because you don't want to rely on substances to do your craft. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people are like, no, that's not safe, and that's fine. You can believe what you believe. But to me, and some people just can't drink. You know what I mean? So in my mind, no. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Does it make it easier? Is it like a cheat? Yeah, I think it's like a cheat. But to me, it's totally acceptable, because if we look back in time when these and other methods of divination existed, our ancestors were using these substances in order to perform these things. So they kind of tie hand in hand sometimes. So anyway, that's just my thing. I think I just answered number 6, which is why or why not. So awesome. Number 7, what is your favorite part of your practice? My favorite part of my practice is the Book of Shadows. And I think a lot of people know this. I just love the aesthetic of a book, and I love the romanticism you can put in it or not. I love that it's an item that reflects our craft, like kind of like altars, you know, how they reflect what we're doing. I feel like the book is a reflection of that as well. So that's my favorite part. What is the least favorite part of your practice? Excuse me. My least favorite part of my practice is, I'm going to piggyback off of Raven a bit, and I'm going to say the cleanup, but also about practicing in general. Lately, there's a lot of people lately that want to judge, you know, other witches or other practitioners. And I don't think that's cool. I think there's just so many different ways to practice, and that there should, like, witches of all people should understand that there is not just one way to do things, and we should know, because of how we're treated by the majority of the Christian populace. Um, we should know that there's not just one path, and sometimes that includes within witchcraft itself. There is no there's not necessarily a right or wrong way. Um, and I guess that's the only thing that practicing in general that I wish we could change. Number 8. No, number 9. How do you feel your practice has grown over time? So, obviously, I've stepped away from the whole Wiccan stuff, so it's a lot less ceremonial, a lot less ritualistic, unless I feel it calls for said things. It's a lot more, not secular, but not as strict. It's a lot more free flowing, and I'm a lot more comfortable and confident in my practice now. 10. Is there a show or movie that inspires you? Yes, several. Charmed, the original and the new. The Craft, the original and the new. I feel like I'm forgetting some. Practical Magic. There's all kinds of shows and movies that inspire me. Do you have a familiar? Not at this time. At least. So, some people think that familiars are spirits, familiar spirits that you would work with. Some people think that familiars are animal guides or totems. And some people think that familiars are pets. If you're regarding familiars as pets, yes, I have pets. If we're talking about pets with a spiritual tie-in, yes, I have spiritual connections with some of my pets, and I use some of their sacrificed claw husks, hair, whiskers, that sort of thing, in spell work, but I do not consider them, ooh, that hurt, I do not consider them like teachers, spiritual teachers. I do believe in animal totems or animal spirits. I believe that could get complicated, but I do believe in those. I believe everybody has energies of animal spirits that they pull from. And I do believe in spirit familiars as well, but I do not have one. So yeah. Would you recommend any YouTube channels? So right now, I'm loving Dottie the Psychic. I'm loving that Noah Tempestari has started posting stuff. Dottie the Psychic is a hoot. Love her to death. Ace and Knight, I've recently started following him. His stuff is pretty nice and fun. Let's see, who else? RavenFlower, I've always binged. And she's gonna stop posting on her witchy stuff. Oh, check out, a lot of people don't check out her travel vlogs, which is The Pirate and I, like I, the pirate, or arg, or I. But, yeah, and that's a good channel, so you should definitely check that out. Grow with Nature, recently new. There's a few, but I think my subscription list is public, so just have fun, dive in there, watch everybody. Jasmine is really great. Yeah, I'll have to post some people. 13. Name something you must do daily for your mental, emotional well being or for your practice. I actually do not have a very big daily practice. Most of my things that I would say are daily practice, some witches may think aren't really practicing at all, I guess. So I think I had this conversation, or I was in a live or something, and was in the chat and discussing this. But there's things that I do that to me I consider practicing, like shielding yourself before you go online or before you leave the house, adding magic into the food you prepare. Uh, what else? Cleaning, using magic to clean. I mean, even to some extent, when I put my shoes on, there is intent. You know what I mean? So, cleansing yourself when you shower, both physically and spiritually. There's a lot. But those are some of the things as far as daily. As far as mental health, I try and stay as creative as I possibly can be. And lately I watch a lot of anime. I just chill and watch things and just relax. 14. What is something that started as an obstacle for you, but you can now see as a blessing? So, really all of my hardships within the past couple of years. This year is one of the most... I feel like this year, going into this year, I am very blessed and lucky to have the people in my life and close to me that I have now. And I can enjoy life a bit more, or a lot more. And so I'm going to say all of my hardships. Yeah. Which 15, which do you prefer? YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok? Okay, so I have love-hate relationships with it all. But if I'm going to list them by the ones I love to the ones I don't like as much, I think I'm going to start with YouTube, because video and being able to sit and just talk my head off for 20 to 30 minutes to an hour, or hours if we talk about drunken divinations, I think it more information, you know what I mean? Easier to get my point across and express what I'm thinking and feeling. Next will be, next will be Instagram, then Facebook, then TikTok, then Twitter. I just don't get on Twitter a lot, so that's why that one's last. And TikTok, you can only do so much in 6 minutes or 3 minutes or a minute or 60 seconds or 15 seconds. 16. What do you feel is missing from our witchy community? Excuse me. I don't think I'm going to edit this very much, so sorry about the yawns. It's the day after drunken divinations, and I am just lazy and chill. But again, to touch up, I think that sometimes we as witches are our community's worst enemies. some of us, there's a lot of debate, especially on social media. What's the correct way to be a witch? You know, it's it's insane, and we all just need to respect each other, and it's very difficult to understand why we can't just work well and create as a community. Um, 17. How much space do you use for supplies and spell work? I have one altar in the house right now, and it is a goddess altar. I posted parts of it. Other than that, I do spell work everywhere: the bathroom, the kitchen. I do have a trunk here that is full of, well, it's not full now because a lot of my witchy stuff is just throughout the house. I don't have a special room, it's just part of the home. So I've got a shelf up that I put crystals on. I've got, books on my bookshelf right in my living room. My goddess altar is in my living room. You see it as soon as you walk in. Um, there's herbs in my kitchen that I use for spellcraft. So, I mean, just everyday storage is also storage for spellcraft and witchcraft. So, yeah. And as far as how much, girl, girl, not a lot. Not a lot. We're in a one-bedroom apartment right now, so we are on top of everything, and everything is on top of us. Oh, 18. How many altars do you have in your home? One. I hope to have more in the future. If I had it my way, I'd probably have three or four. But as of right now, just one. 19. What is your favorite Sabbat? So I don't celebrate the Sabbats ritualistically anymore. I might use their energy in spell work, or there are some holy days that I will recognize with Goddess. But my favorite, and probably one of my most busiest as far as witchy goes, would be Samhain. And I do celebrate Samhain. But my celebrations, I think, are more for fun. Like, I'll do spell work, I'll do magic, divination, or work, or whatever. But to me, they're holidays. They're more about, like, symbolism and fun, I guess. So, Samhain. 20. Do you prefer tarot, runes, oracle decks, pendulums, etc., etc.? So, aesthetically, one of my favorite forms of divination is the Ouija, the spirit board. I don't use one, but I wish I had one just to have. And I think I also like it because even in the witch communities, there are some witches who are just like, no, 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 they will not touch it, and they'll touch that, but they won't touch spirit boards or Ouija, but they'll touch tarot, and it's like the same thing. But my favorites to use are the pendulum and tarot. 21. Are you out of the broom closet? Well, I sure hope so, because I do not have a special page on Facebook for YouTube. If you if you click my links, or my Linktree milkshake thing, you'll see my Facebook is listed. That is my personal Facebook. That is my personal Instagram. Oh, big yawn. And my personal Twitter and all of that. That's all me. All me. It is not. So, my family and friends, I consider YouTube a social media. So, friends, family, it's all there. I do have a special, Drunken Divinations has its own thing, but that is because it's a separate segment, and I felt like it deserved its own thing. And 22. You okay, Rose? 22. Who are you going to tag in this video? Mark, aka Goatfish Emporium. I want to tag Dottie, the psychic. And I think I'll leave it at that for now. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that for now. So Dottie and Mark are my priority tags, but if you feel like doing this tag, by all means do it. So, okay, well, thank you so much for listening to me for 30 minutes and listening to me yawn and ramble. And thank you, RavenFlower, for creating this tag, and I hope everybody has a blessed rest of their week.